Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the second in our New Spiders Summer webinar series that we have here for 2026. My name is Jason Onesto. I am the Assistant Director of New Student Programs here at the University of Richmond. I'll let our guests introduce themselves here in just a moment, but just some housekeeping items before we kind of get into our content. You will notice there's some functions at the bottom of your screen. As we go through the presentation, if you want to go ahead and utilize the Q&A function to type any questions that may arise, we will have some dedicated time at the end to answer those. So just want to put your question into the chat, sit tight, and then we'll make sure to get it answered at the end. Otherwise, that is about all we'll need to worry about. I'm going to hand things off to our guest, Addie. Addie, after you.
Hi, I'm Addie. I'm an assistant director with the Bonner Scholar Program here at University of Richmond, and I'm super excited to share some information about our program today. And I think we'll get some time for questions at the end, so looking forward to hearing from you all too. Like I said, I'm an assistant director for the student engagement team and the Bonner Scholar Program here at University of Richmond. My goal today is to provide you with insights about the Bonner Scholars Program, and I'm really excited to be able to connect with you today. If there are any questions, like I said, we'll touch on those at the end. At the University of Richmond, we prioritize experiential learning and community engagement. It is central to who we are. We're fortunate to be embedded in a region with diverse and interesting businesses, community organizations, nonprofits, government agencies, courts, and a really vibrant arts and culture scene. Our engagement with the region enriches our university and the greater community that we participate in. Specifically, the Bonner Scholar Program the Bonner Scholar Programs prepare students for lives of purpose and connect students, faculty, and staff with community stakeholders in social change efforts that value the knowledge and potential already existing in our community. So how do we actually focus and direct this work? To ground our work in the community, we focus on these 9 issue areas listed here. Many of our Bonners serve at organizations that focus their work in one of these issue areas, and many of the organizations we partner with work at the intersection of multiple issue areas. We have 91 community organizations, probably more than that, that offer engagement opportunities with the Bonner Center and our Bonner Scholars, whether those be one-time opportunities, long-term internships, or collaborations for specific projects. These partnerships are made even more impactful through the students who engage with them, which would be Bonner Scholars. At the University of Richmond, we have one of the largest Bonner Scholar programs in the country with 100 students. As we'll touch on later, Bonner Scholars commit up to 10 hours a week of community engagement for their 4 years with the university. And while their work in the community is central, it's only one part of the Bonner experience. In addition to the professional skills that Bonner Scholars will develop through their paid internships, they also participate in on-campus reflective activities and educational programming to strengthen their connection as a program and their understanding of community-engaged work. One of the most impactful ways that this reflection and connection comes to life is through a thing called our Bonner Cornerstone experiences. Bonner Cornerstone experiences are some of our students' favorite parts of their entire Bonner experience. Each year, each Bonner class participates in a cornerstone that serves as an opportunity to bond as a cohort and learn more about what it means to do community engaged work. For example, the first year trip for our first year new Bonners occurs over U of R spring break, usually just the first few days of it. Typically, we'll take our first year Bonner scholars and a few Bonner staff, and we'll participate in a 3 to 5 day service excursion with programming and community engagement centered around a social issue of their choosing. This year, we took our students to Charlottesville, and the social issue area that they chose was immigration and resettlement. So we met with organizations, we did a service day, and generally spent just a lot of great time together learning and just enjoying each other's company. The sophomore exchange is a 1 to 2 day activity in which University of Richmond Bonners build community and reflect on the nature of civic engagement with Bonners from other colleges and universities in Virginia. So that's a really cool experience where they get to talk to other Bonners about what their program looks like, what their experience has been, and sort of have a commonality of this community engaged experience while they're in college. During junior journey, our juniors spend a day together exploring social issues in Richmond to reflect on their membership as an active leader in the community since they've been in the program now for 3 years. Our presentations of learning are super special for our senior Bonners and everybody that participates. We bring in a local artist. This year it was Hamilton Glass to help guide our seniors to share the impact of community engagement on their learning, growth, and their development as honor scholars, but also just as people and community engaged students. We have an end of year event where the seniors present their work. We invite their families, their professors, their friends, and we celebrate their accomplishments as Bonners. On a broader scale, the CCE offers a range of community building opportunities for all students across campus. The CCE offers community building events for Bonners and other students. These can be one-time service events, projects, movie nights, or city excursions. This year, the CCE took students to the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts just down the street to see Giants, which is an art exhibit curated from Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz personal art collection. And it was really fun, and we got to go out to dinner as a group. So those are always also one of my favorite parts of the year, the excursions. For cross-campus and Bonner-related events, students are encouraged to step into leadership and create their own initiatives based on their interests and passions. So student-led initiatives are exactly what they sound like. Students can host workshops to share their specific knowledge and skills, and there are opportunities for leadership in every year of your Bonner experience. So we have our Bonner leadership team that helps the CCE staff and the Bonner staff really guide the programming and the curriculum and offer just a peer-to-peer support for our Bonner scholars. And I've gotten a lot of great feedback about how important that is to our Bonners. Now we'll transition to what it looks like to be a Bonner. As we previously mentioned, Bonner scholars commit up to 10 hours a week to community engagement throughout the academic year. For this work, Bonners receive up to $3,600 annually through bi-weekly payments. There's also an opportunity to complete 280 summer internships, and those would be with a $4,500 stipend for each summer internship completed. Because of the time commitment of your weekly community engagement, Bonners do get priority class registration during their time in the program. Additionally, Bonners attend class meetings on Wednesdays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. throughout the academic year. For first years, these class meetings are held on a weekly basis on Wednesday to make sure that you're up to speed on the mechanics and the important learnings of the program in your first year, and specifically your first semester. Once you finish your first year in that first semester, you attend class meetings still, but on a much less regular basis. This is part of your training and education requirement as a Bonner, what we call T&E. Class meetings are intended to build community amongst the cohorts and develop your civic knowledge and broaden your understandings of social change. And this is a good example of what it looks like to be a Bonner on a week-to-week basis. So that top line is in your second, third, and fourth year, is in your first year, and that bottom line is your second, third, and fourth year. First year Bonners complete their service hours at some of our first year sites. We partner with 8 to 9 sites in Richmond that are sort of low barrier and high need organizations. So our first year Bonners start to get a taste of what it looks like to be engaged in the community within this Bonner commitment of 8 to 10 hours a week. Additionally, first year new Bonners will participate in what we call partner tours during the fall semester. So we invite local organizations and nonprofits to come to campus to talk to our first years about what they do, to learn about the organizations around Richmond that you can apply to complete your long-term internship, which will start in your second year as a Bonner. I mentioned T&E earlier. You'll see that here on this mock schedule. It stands for Training and Education. These opportunities can look a variety of ways. Sometimes they're guest speakers, films, asynchronous writing assignments, group discussions, reflections. They are listed here on certain days in this example, but really they can happen throughout the semester. Also on this list, you see one-time service events. Sometimes these events are organized by the CCE. Sometimes they're organized by other campus partners, other departments. And also these don't usually happen every week, although there are a lot of service opportunities on and off campus pretty much every week. They also serve as an alternative way for you to meet your service goals. Something you see on both of these schedules is those Wednesday night class meetings that I mentioned. These meetings are the backbone of your Bonner experience, especially in your first year. Something I like to note to incoming students is that it's really important you avoid scheduling any sort of class conflicts or other student organization conflicts with these Wednesday night meetings, as they are a required part of your Bonner experience. Overall, your first year as a Bonner is really full. It's busy with learning, exploration of nonprofit partners and organizations, and figuring it all out as a Bonner. After your first year, you'll begin your long-term internship, which is your placement for the next 3 years of your time as a Bonner Scholar. Your class meetings are a lot less frequent, and your service expectation is a little bit higher, but at that point, you've gotten the hang of it, you've gotten the groove of it, and it all feels comfortable. Throughout your years as a Bonner, time management is super important. Our CCE staff, you're designated an advisor for each year of your time in the program, and we help you manage your schedule and make sure you're hitting all of your goals. So time management is key, but there's a lot of support within the Bonner Scholar program to help you be successful. So while balancing your time as a Bonner, it's extremely important. We also encourage students to broaden their perspectives through study abroad. We know that study abroad is one of the most meaningful opportunities that students can take advantage of during their college experience, and we want to support that for Bonners as well. It's also an amazing opportunity to develop an international perspective on community engaged work while you're abroad. If you do choose to go abroad, you can participate in service through an organization of your choosing in the place that you're studying abroad, and you can receive financial support from us in 2 ways. So if you commit to 100% of your service expectation, which is 125 hours, you will receive $1,500. If you commit to 50% of your service expectation, which is 62 hours, you will receive $750. Typically, we recommend that junior year is the best time for a Bonner to go abroad because of just the cadence of the Bonner program. If you plan to go abroad in another time, it's totally fine. You will just work individually with your Bonner advisor to make sure it doesn't affect your schedule or your progress within the Bonner Scholar program. Now I will give a short overview of the application process. So applications are live now. You can find the application link under our apply page on our Bonner website, the Bonner program website. Applications are due Sunday, May 10th. Applicants will be invited for interviews the week of May 17th. So please keep that in mind when you're applying and you're looking at your schedule and you're finishing up your own school. Once we've completed interviews, applicants will be notified of their status in mid-May or early June. Under that same apply section on our website, you can find more information about the program requirements. In the application, you'll complete 3 prompts focused on civic engagement. They're sort of short answer, small essay prompts. And while optional, we strongly recommend a recommendation letter from, could be somebody that knows you well, like a teacher, a coach, a mentor, that will really help support your application and help us understand who you are. Finally, you'll be required to submit a waiver to confirm your financial standing because the Bonner program is need-based. I know that there is an email going out tomorrow to admitted students with more information about the Bonner Scholar program and the application, so keep an eye out for that. Please connect with us. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have lingering questions after this time together. We'd be happy to answer them. That email at the bottom is there, bonner@richmond.edu. Please send us questions, send us recommendation letters if you need to be reviewing them. And thank you so much for your time and for your interest in the Bonner Scholar program.
Awesome. Thanks, Addie. We can now open the floor to any questions you all may have. All right, Addie, our first question says, how much aid will the scholarship actually give?
So that is based on your community engagement requirement. I can go back to that slide if it's helpful.
Sure, why don't we?
Sorry for the fast. So, like I said, Bonner Scholars will commit up to 10 hours a week and you'll be paid bi-weekly for that service. So annually you can receive up to $3,600. And then in the summers, you can do Bonner service and you will receive a stipend. You can do 2 summers. Each of those stipends will be $4,500. Hopefully that answers the question.
Our next question says, are business school students typically Bonner scholars?
Yes, that's a good question. We do have a good number of business school students, and we have a good number of partners that are business related or economic development related. That's one of the issue areas we focus on. So we have a student right now who's serving at United Way, which is a financial assistance nonprofit, and they're in the B school, and they've chosen that internship because it helps prepare them for B school and what they're planning for next. So yeah, we have a lot of B school Bonner scholars that do a great job.
Right on. Our next question asks, could the hours in the program count as pre-med volunteer hours?
Yes, we also have a very strong contingent of pre-med folks. And that is exactly what they're doing with their hours. It's a great sort of double dip scenario. So we've got some EMT, some pre-med, some nurse folks, some people getting hours for PA school. And we have, again, a lot of really great healthcare oriented partners that you can serve at for your time as a Bonner Scholar.
Great questions. What else do we have? Let's see. We've got two more. The first one says, do Bonner scholars typically have time to do other extracurriculars?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, they do. A lot of our Bonner Scholars participate in other student organizations. We have a few that are presidents of other student organizations. It's just a matter of how well you can balance your time, knowing that, academics and if you are a Bonner Scholar are huge priorities for you. It's definitely possible. We have people that play club sports, intramural sports, student orgs, folks that have other on-campus jobs, so it's definitely possible.
Great. And our next one, are the summer internships in Richmond only?
Really good question. No, you are welcome to do your summer internship kind of wherever. We have a lot of people go home for the summer and do their service there, people going abroad and do service there. There are a lot of great opportunities here in Richmond. A lot of folks who are doing their long-term internship in Richmond will just stay on for the summer and stick around in Richmond, but you can do your summer service from anywhere.
Perfect. We'll give a couple more minutes for any outstanding questions that we have. As we wait for those to come in, just some things to kind of help close us out. Thank you so much for joining us in whatever time it is for you. I encourage you all to, if you have further questions after this time, to contact anyone who is related with our Honor Scholars program, including Addie, who joined us here tonight. The only thing that I will share outside of that is this, as well as our other New Spider Summer Series webinars, will be posted onto our YouTube page and linked in your New Spider um, excuse me, and your new Spider page on our website. So if for some reason you didn't catch all the information for this, or you would like to revisit some of the information, you'll be able to find it the recording on our YouTube page, as well as any of the ones that we have in the future. It doesn't look like we have any other questions. So, Addie, thank you so much for your time this evening, and we look forward to seeing you all in the fall. Thank you.